And how is it going, everyone? Welcome to Touhou Phantasmagoria Flower View, a game that was released on Steam today, and well, this is obviously the Steam version, that by the way needs a couple of tweaks to make it work properly, especially if you want your previous save to work on this version. So first of all, when you download this game, from Steam, what you get is the version 1.0. Steam downloads the 1.0 version, and the 1.5 that you're seeing right there, it's a beta version. So you need to enable the betas inside of the game configuration, because otherwise it won't work, and it won't even work even if you want to use remote play. So you need that version that for some reason is not enabled by default. But if that wasn't enough, it also apparently the game doesn't run very well if you have a gamepad connected. It runs at low FPSs. So you basically need to go into the configuration executable and tell the game to not use the gamepad, which, I mean, it will be a problem if you use the gamepad, I guess. But I don't, so I just basically disable that. If you use gamepad, I'm sorry, but I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how you will fix the low FPSs, so that will be a shame. But you know, technical issues aside, so I want to get a Lunatic 1 coin clear, obviously. The only characters I want coin clear with so far have been Cerno, Yomu, which is here, and Aya, obviously. Aya is absolutely broken against CPUs. So Lyrica is a character that I've been wanting to 1 coin clear for a long time, and I never did on Lunatic, so I'm gonna try to do that. But there are other characters as well that might also be useful for that. Like, for example, Reimu. Reimu is a very good character. And by very good, I just mean very standard. They don't have anything stupid, you know, anything particularly stupid. There are a lot of characters in this game that have so much stupid shit that they make it very hard to use. In any case, shoutouts to the guys at the Touhou Wiki Discord for telling me that the fits, in order to the game to recognize your save file, you needed to go to the betas. Because I would have never guessed it. And I mean, who would have guessed it? That the actual latest version of the game was locked behind a beta. Then again, we need to remember that this is still a Doshin game, you know. Doshin games, when it comes to the technical aspect, they tend to shit the bed very spectacularly. But it's okay. I mean, what's important is that it works, and it works. But yeah, it will be smart if soon made this version that I'm using right now the default version and not just some weird beta version. I mean, especially because the remote play, which is what is needed for... a remote play which is what got advertised a lot, basically because the net play in this game is garbage, the built-in one. So with remote play, it's very easy. Well, I don't know if very easy, but in theory it should work fine. But that's the thing, the main thing that was advertised for this game doesn't even work if you don't go for the beta. It says that the 1.50 version is experimental, but it really isn't. I mean, it's the one version that everyone should be using. For some reason the default one is the 1.0. Why? I don't know. God knows why that's the case. Other than that, it seems that the game works very fine. So yeah. Just what you will expect. But yeah, it's not like the Steam version really has anything different other than being able to you know, integrate Steam capabilities such as remote play. Like, other than that, it's nothing special. But you know, the most special thing is obviously that you can buy it very easily even if you're from outside of Japan, which is something that was never the case for Touhou games until they get put on Steam. Let's just hope that after this one, Touhou 8, 7 and 6 follow, because if they don't, I will be a little bit disappointed. But you know, eventually they will appear. Don't know exactly when, but they will appear at some point. Those are the only Windows mainline games that haven't made it to Steam. Every other game has made it to Steam. So, you know, just a matter of having those three. I mean, obviously I would like to see the PC98 ones. But that's, you know, I don't think that's ever happening. So, I mean, ideally, it would be nice if they release on Steam an emulator that could, you know, that bundle all of the 5 PC98 Touhou games, but yeah, that's not gonna happen ever. Hey Colo, how is it going? Yeah, this is a match. Against the CPU, that is. The one that dies first loses, basically. So, the CPU died and I win. As simple as that. Yeah, that's how it works. You can probably see the CPU moving in a very erratic way, as if it had epilepsy. But that's because the CPU is cheating, obviously, because, you know, I'm more intelligent than a machine. It's not about being intelligent, it's about reacting. And in this game, basically, if the AI is left to its maximum potential, it will be basically impossible to win. I mean, you can see what's going on the right side with the AI doing some very weird movements. So basically it has an auto dodge. Just that auto dodge, after a period of time, gets disabled and the AI gets hit, pretty much. Like right there. So yeah, that's how it works. Because obviously doing a proper AI that dodges bullets is not very simple. Well, doing AIs in general is not very simple. Even fighting games use very cheat-like AIs. I mean, most AI in fighting games are basically button-reading scripts, right? So they are like, oh, you jump at me? Okay, I'm gonna uppercut. Usually. So at least fighting game AIs are a little bit more complex. Mostly because they need to react to multiple things at the same time that solely depend on the player. Here, they just need to dodge the bullets. And that's it. And after a set amount of time, just basically they turn themselves off, so it's actually possible to win. Because otherwise it wouldn't be possible to win, obviously. Well, in fighting games they also do something like that. I mean, it's not like they disable themselves after a certain amount of time, but they obviously don't use the full capabilities that they will be able to use. Obviously, because otherwise it will be impossible to win. A fighting game AI reads every single one of your inputs and only reacts to your inputs, it will be impossible to win. So that's why it's tricky to do a fighting game AI, or basically any AI in any game. Like, the difficult thing is not making it competent, it's making it defeatable. It's very easy to make an AI that won't let you win. So yeah, the challenge is how can you win as a player? And at the same time, how can you make it challenging? Because I mean, obviously, if you should make the AI stand there, well yeah, you can clearly win, but that doesn't seem like it's very fun, you know? But yeah, when it comes to AI in video games, it's something very hard. Finding that balance between competent and, you know, weak enough so it can be defeated. It's a problem. That's the reason why, when it comes to indie games in general, especially those that are in very early access and they are competitive, they don't even have AI. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, League of Legends, which is an extremely popular game, only had AI like several years after release. I might be wrong, but I think that's how it is. Like, up until that point, it was only players versus players. Because, you know, making an AI that is supposed to make smart decisions in such a variable environment, it's hard. It's not like, for example, chess, with the amount of possibilities being relatively low for a processor, for a computer processor, right? In something like League of Legends, the amount of variance, especially considering what the player can or cannot do, it's hard, you know. That also applies for fighting games and many other games as well, but it's tough, it's very tough. I knew you were gonna say that. You're a little bit predictable. But anyways, the point is that, yeah, AIs are complex. Especially when you're supposed to do it for a video game. Because I mean, most competitive video games, their whole point is not even in the AI itself, right? I mean, the whole point of fighting games is fighting against other people, not fighting against a computer, though it's always nice to have that option, and in fact I obviously like that option being there. But that's the fucked up part. You invest a lot of time into making a working AI for something that it's probably not even gonna be that used, and it's not even gonna be a selling point, because it's like, yeah, our fighting game has an AI. Yeah, like the ones released in the 90s. Congratulations, right? So it's that sort of thing. That sort of thing that requires a low effort, but very little payout. So it ends up being very fucked up because of it. Well, I know of a fighting game that, you know... Well, there are several fighting games actually, especially very indie ones that that never got AIs, that they are just versus. But yeah. What can you do? Sure glad sometimes, because, you know, obviously, you know, I'm a programmer, right? And a lot of times you think, well, if you like video games so much and you know how to code, why don't you become a video game developer? But, you know, becoming a video game developer sounds like such a pain that, yeah, it's probably not good for your mental health. Not like regular, you know, web developing is any better, but hey, at least the stuff that you need to do there is mostly easy. I mean, the hard part is usually just understanding what the fuck the client wants, not really executing it. But yeah, video games are a completely different beast. Video games require a lot more. A lot more. You have to be an all-around very good programmer to be able to, you know, get into some basic video game coding. Well, I mean, unless you use 100,000, you know, development layers like Epic Games with Unreal Engine, right? They use so much bloat that sometimes you don't even need to know how to code, you just need to know how to navigate those menus. It always had bots, but they added a queue for it later. Oh, you mean League of Legends? Oh, I didn't know. I thought that the bots were added afterwards. I see. How is it going yummy? I see, I see. Oh, my bad then. I stand corrected. Since, you know, I don't really play League of Legends, so... Just heard that, like, the players at some point wanted the bots and they got that several years later. I didn't know they were talking about the queue instead of the, you know, the actual existence of an AI. Yeah. It's essentially, you know, something that definitely requires a lot of effort and it might not pay out. I remember it was hype because people thought the bots wouldn't be shit. But I guess it depends. Maybe for new people they aren't shit. I mean, I remember, dude, I used to play Heroes of the Storm with my friends, and we didn't play against other people, we play against the AI because we fucking suck. And the thing is that we couldn't even win against the low-level AIs. And they are not supposed to be good, they are supposed to be shovers, but to me those games are so complex that I just don't understand them. And my friends didn't either. So it's one of those things that I don't know how so many people are so good at it. Because it's not a matter of execution, obviously. I mean, there is execution involved and everything, but I mean that that's not the problem. The problem is that I just don't understand. I mean, you understand how the game works, right? You understand the objective, but you don't understand what you're supposed to do. I guess the same applies for fighting games. Just that fighting games, I play them for so long that you understand what the game plan is usually, what you're supposed to go for, what you're supposed to avoid, etc., right? Though at that point it's more a matter of execution than anything else. But yeah. It's just interesting that... yeah. Something that is so blazed, something that I could never understand properly. But I also am not really interested. They seem so boring. Like, they seem so slow, so... like... I don't know how to explain it, but not dynamic enough. They were lit so... nice. But yeah. That's the issue. Honestly, I rather get bodied at fighting games than learning how to play MOBAs. MOBAs are just not my thing. And I mean, they are not my thing, and it's one of those things that I don't understand how they got so popular. Because I mean, yes, they are free, and I guess that has a lot to do with it. I think that there are some games that become free and they are not really that popular. Though I guess, especially a game like League of Legends was basically a free-to-play in a time where I guess free-to-plays weren't very common. But you know, regardless of that, I still wonder how that game had such a big following. I just don't understand, because when you think about it, I don't really think it has casual appeal at all. But that's the thing, it is played a lot by casual people. So that's why I don't understand how it got to the point where it was so popular. I just don't get it. But it's okay. To each their own. Like, see, for example, something like Genshin Impact, I could understand why that becomes popular. Yeah, I know that now Yami is gonna write a 200-word essay on why Genshin Impact sucks and whatever. But regardless of what you think about it, it is understandable why it will become popular, right? But with League of Legends, I just don't understand that appeal. Like, I just don't understand how it could have reached the masses the way it did. Like, my brain just cannot comprehend it. Cringe. But I mean, see, okay. It might be a lot to ask, but I want to ask you this, Yami. Like, try to take out your facade, is that how you pronounce it? Well, whatever you pronounce that word. Try to take away your mask, your Genshin Impact hater mask, which I know it's hard, but... like, you can understand that Genshin Impact has mass appeal, right? Like, you understand where it comes from. But where does League of Legends mass appeal comes from? Is it really the fact that it was free to play when there were barely any free to plays? Is that the only thing? Or is there something else that I just don't know? That's what I want to know, you know? It's pretty hard to comprehend for me. Just very hard. Sword and Shield was one of the best. No, see, but that's the thing. Pokemon is already an established franchise. Both League of Legends and Genshin Impact are not established franchises, and they are both extremely popular. So I understand why Genshin Impact is popular, you know, free to play, it's trying to mimic The Legend of Zelda, which is a $60 exclusive console game that you can play for free in almost any device. It has a lot of very cute girls and whatever. Like, you can understand that, and it's also not a turn-based RPG game like 99% of gachas, right? So you can understand the appeal very easily. With League of Legends, the only thing that comes to my mind is it's free to play. Yeah, I know. It obviously mimics Breath of the Wild, and I never say the contrary. I mean, I should say... What I say back then is not that it doesn't try to mimic it, it's just that it's not a 1-1 copy of it. Which you disagree with, and I don't want to get into that argument, so if you could spare me of that, I will be thankful. But yeah, the point is that yeah, obviously it takes things from Breath of the Wild. It takes a lot of things. You never back me up. I mean, again, I never backed you up because I don't agree that it's a 1-1 copy. I disagree with that. But, I mean, it obviously takes things from Breath of the Wild, clearly. So the thing is that, yeah, like, we can understand the appeal with those things, right? But yeah, League of Legends, other than the free-to-play, I just don't understand where the appeal comes from. Like, team-based, MOBA, shitty-ass graphics, like... Especially because another MOBA already existed at the time called Dota 2, you know? You don't play with Link, that's very important. But regardless of that, like, being free to play is literally the only positive aspect that I can think about League of Legends. I can't think of anything else. Like, I just don't see any other positive aspect for that game. Or rather, when I say positive, no, I mean a casual, attractive aspect. Like someone that will grab the average show and be like, hey, I want to play this, right? League of Legends is the reason people even give a shit about Pokemon Unite. No, but see, that's the problem. I don't think bringing Pokemon to the equation is a smart idea. Anything that has the Pokemon name in it is gonna become popular regardless of what it is. It doesn't matter, it's Pokemon. It sells millions. It's a golden egg chicken. Like, you can release Pokemon shit and Pokemon piss, like, for a new generation, and people will buy that. The only starter available is Gardevoir is called, right? The one that is literally a pile of trash. Well, they could make a game like that, people will still buy it because it's Pokemon. So that's the problem with trying to bring up Pokemon. It's something that doesn't follow the same logics of other games. Same applies to any other popular franchise, really, like Mortal Kombat, you know. Well, Mortal Kombat, I guess it depends. No, I don't think Mortal Kombat is at that level. I think a better example will be something like, well, literally every other Nintendo popular franchise like Mario, Zelda, you know, Metroid. But I think that Pokemon is just even more special. Like, it wouldn't be a stretch to say that Pokemon is Nintendo's most popular IP. No, right, but see, that's the thing. The fact that you didn't get into it doesn't mean much, because like, you might be a Pokemon fan, but you know, you're not the average Pokemon fan. And believe it or not, you know what the average Pokemon fan is? Japanese kids. And believe it or not, that's the average Pokemon fan. Obviously, outside of Japan, it's ironically more popular with adults than with kids. But the point is that, yeah, the targeted audience will eat everything up. Who's that? Wait, that's not. That can't be it. That can't be the right pronunciation. Are you sure? I'm gonna check Google Translate, because that doesn't seem right. But not yet. It's good for mass audience, people who want to watch aquarium plays in their house with glee. I wouldn't mind. League was great, Dota 1 was... Oh! So Dota 2 came after League of Legends? I didn't think about that. Free to play and PvP. Yeah, you might be right that that was the winning combination. Because when you think about PvP games back then, the most popular ones were probably Counter-Strike, Call of Duty. Well, pretty much that. I guess you could count StarCraft too, but what all those games have in common is that they are paid, back then at least. So, yeah, you are right. I think that that specific combination of free-to-play and PvP is actually the winning combination back then. Obviously, right now, it wouldn't be anything special, but back then, it will mean everything, yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're actually right. It's not just that it's PvP, but it was one of the only PvP free-to-play that released back then. You're absolutely right. See? I knew that you will give me a useful answer. Just needed to ask nicely. Okay, I knew it. Uh-oh, I'm definitely dead. Yeah. I could have bombed there. Whatever. Japanese kids can blow me. Dude, saying something like that and then I'm the one that should be careful about the FBI and you throw comments like that? Come on. What you mean Japanese kids can blow me? What kind of sentence is that? Unbelievable. I play Dota pretty regularly. League was just amazing compared to it. I try going back to that and it feels bad. Dota 2 has pretty severe beginner problems when it came out. Stuff like skill cast indicators didn't exist. I see. Interesting. Well, yeah, I guess that answers the question. Thanks. But regardless of that, I don't think I will be able to play it. Because you know that I don't like competitive games in general, but I wouldn't mind. Well, in fact, I did play it on stream a lot, but I don't mind playing fighting games. I don't mind playing FPSs even though I suck, but a MOBA, I think that's where I draw the line. Like, that's just way too much for me. That's just a little bit too much. Problem is that fighting games are absolutely dead. And they deserve to be dead, but you know. It's just sad. Wonder when one of the big names is gonna make a free-to-play fighting game. It doesn't matter who, it doesn't matter if it's a Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, or those are pretty much the only true big names. Because you can mention King of Fighters, Guilty Gear, that sort of shit all you want, but deep down you know that those are the only two with mainstream appeal. Those are the only ones that got stuck in 90s kids' minds, so yeah, everything else is irrelevant. Everything else is absolutely irrelevant. So I wonder when one of those two is gonna release a free-to-play game. Probably never, really. It would be nice. I really want fighting games to not be dead. It would be nice to play against a pool of players that is actually big. In a game that also doesn't suck if it's possible. But, you know, even if the game sucks, at least the fact that it's free is not gonna make you feel bad for buying it because you didn't buy it. That's the issue, you know. That something like that doesn't exist. Like a huge fighting game IP that is free to play. They are free-to-play fighting games, but they are all trash. Well, or even if they weren't trash, they don't have any players. That's the thing. If you don't have a big IP, how are you gonna bring players, especially to a genre like fighting games? So yeah. Kinda sucks. And the worst part is that if a Street Fighter did that, they will have no competition. But they don't, because they are stupid. The people at Capcom. It's not a surprise, it just hurts to see. It just hurts a lot, but it's okay. What? It's okay. I'm gonna win regardless. on, Naya, you don't have anything else to do. Just give up already. God damn it. There you go. Took you a while. Anyways. Yeah, honestly, between Komachi and Yuka, Yuka is definitely the best option. Komachi with the coin spam is just so fucking hard, dude. The fact that she can coin spam like that with her basic attack is just ridiculous. But that's okay. That's gonna... Oh, I'm fine. Damn it, didn't have enough meter. Now I have enough meter. That's the problem with this fight. It's pretty much impossible to not lose a life at them. I didn't survive that much. That was only like 1 minute. Hey Dual Danny, how is it going? Did you try to play in remote play? I didn't try because I saw the post that Soon made and it seemed like it was a lot more complex than you know it had any right to be. Well, first of all, you need to use the 1.5 version, which is under the beta thing, which is the one I'm using, so that wouldn't be a problem. But then there are so many things that, you know, you need to go through menus. Apparently, for like one of the players, like it might not work completely, like the screen, so I don't know, like I read that and it listed some issues, and the funny thing is that those issues that listed it say this is not gonna be supported in this release, which is pretty funny to me, like the developer listing the issues and saying, yeah, these issues here, well, you're gonna have to deal with it. It was quite funny, but at the same time quite sad. Then again, don't really care about playing multiplayer, but you know, I would prefer if there was matchmaking, because with remote play you need to add someone. Then you need to invite that someone, and then you have to, you know, come to an agreement on how to play. So it's all very painful. I mean, it's less painful than the other, the old method with Adonis, but that doesn't make it any better. Yeah. If this game had matchmaking, I probably would be playing online right now. But it doesn't. And even if it had matchmaking, it wouldn't have rollback netcode anyways. So it's not like it will be playable anyways. It's such a shame though. Especially because Phantasmagoria Flower View is the kind of game that, like, it will be so easy to implement rollback. It's not like a fighting game where the interaction between the two parties is super crucial. It's not even that. trying with remote play, but the remote did not work on my friends. Make sure they select the beta version. Like when you go to your library and you select the game, you need to go into like a little like gear icon that are the properties of the game, and right there is an option that says betas. You have to select the 1.50A version, which I mean it's the only one there, so it shouldn't be a problem to do that. But yeah, you need to do that, and then there is some other steps that I haven't really read, but you can see if you go to the Steam page. It tells you like one of the first posts made by, well, I'm assuming Soon or whoever made the port. Well, the port's not a port, but you get the point. The thing is that, yeah, whoever made that post details exactly what steps you need. I didn't bother to read them, but you know, maybe you will have a better luck reading it, I mean. No problem, but you know, if you want to play with friends, I think that a better way of doing that is using a program called Parsec. If I'm not mistaken, Parsec is a lot better than Steam Remote's Play. I don't know exactly how it works, but basically with Parsec, someone joins your PC and it's basically as if you were playing side by side, which is pretty much the same thing that Steam Remote Play does, but apparently Parsec does it better. Rather, it has a better netcode implementation. So yeah, I will suggest you to use Parsec. Well, regardless of what you do, I do recommend you to use this version, which is the latest one, but for some reason it's locked behind a beta. I don't know why, but it doesn't make any sense. But it's okay. I guess I could use Touhou. Which, by the way, the romanization here is actually correct. She's called Tay. That's the real pronunciation of her name. You don't say Touhou, you say Tay. That's because the Wii hiragana is completely outdated and it was supposed to be read as E back then. You have Tay, not Touhou. Even though I keep saying Touhou because it's just got ingrained into my brain, so it's a little bit hard to avoid doing it, but yeah, the point is that you're not supposed to do it. You're supposed to say Tay. And I'm actually surprised that the romanization is correct in the vanilla version and is not correct in the English translated version. The English romanization uses a W, which is very misleading, because nobody will pronounce Touhou as Tay if they see the W there. So good on Soon for actually romanizing it properly. So you know, that's the funny thing. Soon is usually known for screwing up the romanizations. So for example, in Touhou 16 there is a character called Narumi, but he romanized her name as Naruko, which is not how you pronounce it. And you know, there is also a lot of other choices for romanizations that are very questionable, even though they are not technically incorrect. So for example, how well, Fujiwara no Moko is Husfiwara, which is not a wrong romanization, but it's just very misleading. It's a different type of romanization. There are many romanizations out there. Yeah, they are usually not very useful. The one that is the most useful is the one that uses an F and a Shay. Because you know you're supposed to say Ushiwara, right? But yeah, one of the many things. Fun facts, if you want to call them like that, basically. I think that the most offensive romanization I've seen in a Touhou game is the one in... Well, that funnily enough it's an official translation. The one in Antinomy of Common Flowers. That there is a character called Sean, or Sean, don't know exactly what the pitch accent is, but the problem is that the romanization wrote it as Shay, Y, W, and an N, which will mean that normally you will pronounce it as Shion, and that's not the right pronunciation. And the problem is that that's an official translation. Same thing happened with one of the mangas too. I think that the official translation for Forbidden Scrollery, there is a character called Hieda no Akyu. That is basically translated in that manga as Akyu Hiedano, which is obviously not correct. But yeah. Pretty funny how Japanese people are the worst at romanizing their own names. I guess it makes sense. I mean, after all, it's not something that is fully necessary for them. So they don't need to be good at doing it. But it's still funny. Well, I think that sometimes they are required to romanize their names in the... like when they fill paperwork, like they need to write their name in kanji, in hiragana, or I think in katakana, I don't remember which one, and then in romashi. So they know how to do it, but a lot of those romanizations are probably not the best if a foreigner was the one reading them. Obviously it doesn't matter there because they wouldn't read that, he will just read the kana, right? But yeah. Wait. Oh, this is a stage 5. It was gonna ask why they are dying so fast. Why are they dying in such a fast-paced way? But it just turns out this is only stage 5, so it makes sense. Only in stage 6 is when it becomes dangerous. So, for now, you can just worry about, yeah. Just worry about not dying myself. So it's against Marisa? No, it's against Raisin. Using Touhou's team. I mean. Funny. Pretty funny. Hey Bravi, how is it going? The charge shot looks like a flamethrower. I think it just looks more like wings. So I don't know exactly what it's supposed to mean, what it's supposed to be. Like, I think I remember reading what it's supposed to be, but I just don't remember what it was. Because it has a very weird shape. That's gonna hurt. That's the one thing I don't like about Touhou. The scope is so bad. Like, it's just so bad. Because it triggers things that you don't want to trigger. Triggers things that are the other side of the screen. You are not even looking at. So it's quite messed up. Oof. I almost got... I got sniped. Damn it. Guess it wasn't almost. Oof, that was close. Keep in mind that there is a very small chance with Touhou that if you get killed, you actually don't get killed, but yeah, it's a small chance. Like when you're on your last hit, there is a small chance that you don't die. But yeah, as I say, the small chance, so it's not meant to happen repeatedly. Was not a very smart meter usage. That wasn't smart at all, really. Damn it. Come on. Oh, nice. So you saw it right there. So instead of dying, I got a second chance that hopefully I can make use of. But yeah, I made use of. Yeah, classic Touhou ability. So yeah, it actually saved my ass there. It actually saved my ass. So here comes Medicine. It's actually a very hard fight. Well, Medicine is very hard, usually. In fact, you know what? I think that if I don't get any one coin clear today, which is the most likely outcome, I think what I want to do before ending the stream is pick in Medicine. Because for some reason I don't have a one coin clear with Medicine even though it's free. I mean, I guess that's exactly the reason why I don't have it, because I know that it's 100% free. But yeah, if I don't get any one coin clear today, I could just do that. Because I already have the one coin clear with Aya. So just will need it to have it with medicine. Her ability is so fucked up. Absolutely fucked up. I got another team. I can't even see where I am if I don't focus. I don't use focus. Oh shit. I got a second chance. Not like it matters because I'm getting showered with shit, so there wasn't much I could have done. Especially because when you get that second chance, all your meter goes away, which makes sense, obviously. I mean, if you had meter even after getting that lucky, that will be a little bit broken, even if it's just a small chance, because that will basically mean getting more HP than the rest of the fighters. Again, even though it's only a chance, it will still be super powerful. Another fucked up thing is that, aside from the potion, some of her patterns have those curvy trajectories in the bullets. It's so hard to react to sometimes. At least it's only on the special attacks, like the level 2 and the level 3, I'm pretty sure. If not only one of them, I'm not 100% sure. Got him. Alright. So I think Yuka comes after this, right? Oh no, never mind, it's Komachi. Well, that sucks. Damn it. Tewi really is in a very bad position here. Like, she fights against both Medicine and Komachi in the same route. That has to be one of the hardest routes then. Because they are the two hardest, you know, guaranteed bosses. At least she has Raisin on stage 6, I guess, which I think that is not as hard as someone like, you know, someone like Yomu, I guess. But no, Yomu is still quite easy. It's just that it's hard to survive that much, you know. That's it. Ooh, that was close. getting crazy. Oh, I got hit by a bullet that was excessively fast. I don't know what was wrong with that bullet, but it was very, very fast. At least I'm gonna... Oh, never mind. No, my bad. I was gonna say that at least I'm gonna get another extend, but I don't think so. Because the next extend is in 50 million, right? Well, if it is in 50 million, yeah, well, no. If it is in 50 million, I should get it, but I don't remember if it was 50 or 70. Or both. Maybe it's both. In which case, I guess I still got a chance. Maybe. Maybe a very small one, but it's still there. Getting hit by the spirits themselves hurts a lot. Because one thing is getting hit by the bullets they shoot, another thing is straight up getting hit by them. That is quite sad. Probably using bomb there instead of charging might have been a bad idea. Oh, but I won regardless. Okay, so yeah, you do get an extend at 50 million. So here it's gonna be a matter of, well, doing whatever I can against Shikieki basically, which is not an easy task, but I might be able to. Hopefully. I mean, I have 2 lives. Having 2 lives means that the chance of winning this is non-zero. Because when you have only 1 life, I mean, it's possible, but it's very hard. And well, when you have 0 lives, it's impossible. Yeah, this first attempt is basically gonna be worthless. Well, maybe we can amass some points, but I don't think it's gonna be enough for the third extend. Like, I don't think I can ever get to 70 million, at least not the way I play. Basically play for pure survival, so I don't really care about scoring. Which I mean, it might be important to care about scoring, but I never did. Oh, got the extra chance. Not like it lasted for too long, but you know, it's okay. She already opens up with that. That's messed up. Very nice. Okay. I definitely need to focus here because this is a doable one. This is a definitely doable run. Look, if it isn't Lily fucking White. Couldn't do much there. I could see those little things about to blow up. That would have been a very interesting barrage of bullets. See, that would have been a useful circumstance to activate the extra chance after you die. Would have been very useful, but it didn't activate, so you know. I guess it's the way it is. I hate getting hit by those spirits so much. Well, who wouldn't? That was probably too early. Oh, come on. Damn it, dude. Got killed by the fucking ghost again. How annoying. And that wouldn't be the case if this scope wasn't so fucking shitty. Like, holy shit, this scope is so bad. Like, how can it be so bad? It has to be one of the worst scopes in the game next to Sakuya's. Holy shit. At least you can see the scopes before you select them, but that scope is terrible. I guess I could do... oh, but she has... So Marisa has a cool scope, but she has very slow charge. I don't want that. I guess I could pick Reimu again. A shame that I don't remember how to pick the blue Reimu. I thought it was pressing enter, but I think it's C enter? No, how the fuck did you pick the alternate color? Like, I thought it was with enter, but that doesn't seem to be the case. It's also not... No, it's not like that. And I always forget how to pick the extra color. I just don't remember. Like, but I was pretty sure it's enter. Well, who gives a shit? It's only a color. If you didn't have such a bad scope, Touhou, you will be so good. I guess I can use Yuka. Apparently she has very fast charge, right? That's what it says, right? Charge is very fast. Yeah, very fast. Well, maybe we can win this one. Seems relatively good. The scope is gigantic, but it's almost the same size as Reimu. Nice start. Thankfully we don't have to retry because the first stages, as I say before, all of them are absolute shovers, so don't have to worry about that. All of them are the epitome of shoving, so don't worry about that. And also her stage 1 charge is very useful. I mean, that spread is extremely useful. Reminds me a little bit of Reimu's spread in Touhou 3, where she uses talismans that open up and cover almost the whole screen. Mima 2 in Touhou 3 also has a very powerful level 1 charge, and this one seems to be very decent. Very, very decent. Yeah, it might even be a better idea to just use this, probably. The problem with this is that it might also be pretty easy to get accidental level 2 charges. Not to mention that, yeah, no, I think it's a better idea to just spam. I mean, after all, one unique thing she has compared to the rest of the cast is that she has a 3-shot spread. Almost every other character only has like the generic two stream shot. That's very good. That is indeed very good. Yeah. What I'm surprised is that one of my viewers was able to get this game to 1 coin clear it with every single character. Talking about Yannick, I don't know how he did that, because there are some characters that are so fucked up. Well, in fact, I think that Sakuya is one of the last ones that he did, so... But it's still super interesting because to me this game is fairly hard to 1 coin clear unless obviously you use Aya or Medicine. We don't count those. But other than those characters, it's very hard to 1 coin clear, right? And he did it... Yeah. well, the amount of characters, I think that it's 10 or 11, right? So he did it that amount of times. It's very impressive. I only did it twice, or well, 3 times, I guess, if you consider Aya. Discord broke. What happened with Discord? You mean my Discord, or you mean Discord in general? Well, I'm assuming you mean Discord in general. It's okay, it happens sometimes. Don't worry about it. Sometimes it just happens. Discord, okay. Yeah, don't worry about it. Well, in the meantime, since Discord broke, can you remind me how to select the alternate colors for the characters in this game? Because I don't know. I mean, I knew at some point and I forgot. Better uptime than Slack. I don't know, because I don't really use Slack. Even though my company has a Slack, we use Discord more than Slack, so... you know. So yeah. The good thing about Slack is that when you try to log in, it doesn't even ask you for a password. Well, I guess it depends on your account settings, but in my case, with my company's email, like I just basically enter the email and it sends me an email that I used to enter. Like it sends me a code and then I put the code and it just enters. I'm assuming they did that considering the amount of, you know, all the people that probably use Slack and they can be asked to remember passwords, you know. I guess it makes sense. Damn, look at that dialogue. That dialogue is perfectly structured as a poem. That's something that you wouldn't see in the translation. You can only see here. That's pretty cool. Shame that I don't understand what it says, but who gives a shit, right? That yin-yang order. After all, this is Rainbow. Rainbow really, of the available stage 6 bosses, Rainbow might be the worst. Rainbow might actually be the worst one. Damn, I die very fast. I die with full meter, but you know, still. insane how free it becomes after just dying once. How is that even allowed? That's pretty much what happens with almost every fight. I guess the exception being the second to last and obviously the last one. So after this comes Aya, right? I think. Yep. It comes Aya. Also, just like every Monday, I'm very sleepy. Whose idea is to release a game on fucking Monday, dude? Like, that's the worst, probably the worst day that you can release a game. Like, come on. Everyone hates Mondays, and for a good reason. Like, goddamn. Just release it on the weekend. I mean, I know that this is not a new game, but still. Damn it. Come on. That sucks. Touhou 9 is really a tennis game? A tennis game? I don't know about that. I think it's more like well, I don't know what to say, but yeah, I don't think tennis really applies here. Wouldn't be really the term I will use. I mean, considering the bullshit and the cheating, I will say that this is closer to football than it is to tennis. You know? You throw bullets at each other. Well, I mean, that's pretty much the majority of sports. You are constantly throwing balls at each other. Just that tennis only has 2 players, so I guess it counts. Yeah, maybe. Ouch. Hey, How much you want me to survive, Aya? You already died once. Don't you think that that's enough? I feel like that is enough. Might be exaggerating a little bit with this whole thing. There you go. Jesus. Took you a while to oh shit, I got a lot of score. That's because of boss well, I don't know how to read that. It says boss reversal. Okay, so apparently well, it's not just the reversal actually. The ones that count the most are... I never understood how scoring works in this game. There is one that says boss attack, and if I remember correctly, another one that says boss panic. I think at the end of the day, the safest thing to pay attention to is how long you last. Even in attempts that you know that you have no chance of winning, what's important is lasting the longest that you can. If you can last long enough, you'll be fine for the most part. Just need to last long. So something that Yuka has is that she's a very slow character. That might actually be bad for the final boss. The final boss has a lot of macro dodging with those rods of judgment or whatever the fuck they are called. You're supposed to move very fast to very distant places, so that becomes a problem at the end of the day. Basically. Well, there's nothing we can do other than trying, so let's try, see how it goes. A little bit too early to use that charge, probably. Damn it, I'm being showered in bullshit. Look at this shit. I need to constantly spam charges. Oh, that bullet came by so fucking fast, dude. Oh, I hate fast bullets like that, dude. It's such a game on crack. I mean, it's one of the most frenetic Touhou games, but believe it or not, Touhou 3 is even more frenetic than this, somehow. So yeah, if you think that this game is full of horror shit, wait till you play Touhou 3. Now that's a game full of horror shit. I love that game though. Very, very good game, but damn. It's even worse than this one in terms of how much shit there is on screen at any given time. It's somehow even worse. You wonder how it manages to be that way, but it does manage to be that way somehow. It does manage to somehow be that way. Oof, that was close. Oh, I don't have charges. I thought I did. My bad. The problem is that this girl doesn't seem to be showing signs of dying, and I wasted one charge for holding the button for too long. Oh, I still won. Okay. So we get an extra life here. So basically we're in the same situation as before, but with a slightly better character than Touhou. Well, I guess slightly, no, with an actual better character, you know. So this might be good the same way it might be bad. Because the thing is that at least Touhou was fast, and being fast in this fight is very useful, but Yuka is not very fast. So that allows for precise dodges, but at the same time precise dodges are not something that... like, they are not very useful in this fight. Because there comes a point where those rods of judgment completely fill the screen, or rather they fill the space that you are chilling at. And when that happens, no amounts of micro dodges are gonna save you. So that's the issue. Like, as you can see right there. But obviously if you have the reflexes of a supercomputer, that's not a problem. But unfortunately, I'm only human. Yes, I'm too lazy to say Tei, so I'm gonna keep saying Touhou. Blame the translators for romanizing it with a W. Gonna keep saying Touhou until the day I die. Oh, that was not ideal. Other than blaming the translators, blame Sun for using a hiragana that doesn't even exist anymore. Which, I mean, it makes sense in Touhou's case because she's supposed to be super old. But, I mean, come on, dude. Ooh, that was very close. What am I supposed to do there? God damn it. That was so fucked up. Nowhere to run. Jesus Christ. Nothing I can do. They is one syllable or syllable. Well, whatever the shit you pronounce that word. Yeah, you're right, but you know the phrase old habits die hard. So yeah, I've been calling her Touhou ever since I started playing Touhou almost 10 years ago, so gonna be a little bit hard to stop calling her that after 10 years. Because it wasn't only after recently that I learned that you're not supposed to pronounce the W. But again, that's the fault of the translators. Because this game, I will show you now, but this game basically has the name written without a W. Okay, this is the official romanization. And as I say before, I know that the official romanization sometimes is not a good thing to follow. But in this game, it's surprisingly, at least the Touhou one, is surprisingly accurate. So good shit for Soon for romanizing properly. Good shit. Well, funnily enough, the same translation from this game, I'm pretty sure it has it written with a W. So, you know. Oh, come on. Oh, I win! Got him! Nice! So I actually got it. A 1 coin clear on Lunatic, this time with Miss Yuka. Oh, you don't get an extend at 70 million, so I'm assuming that you get it way later. But there you have it. Yeah. Let me hide this thing. Because you know that Soon doesn't like that. So, you know, let me just do that. Yeah. Beautiful ending that I don't even understand because it's all in Japanese, so, yeah. Cool illustrations, though. I like the illustrations. Alright, there we go. Oof. Damn, I didn't expect to get a 1 coin clear today. That was pretty nice. Not like there were many people who liked Touhou to compare. Well, there weren't. Well, first of all, back when I started playing Touhou, I didn't really visit any place. Well, I mean, I did visit Shrine Maiden forums, but I never heard anyone pronounce anything. I just read it, you know. So that means my habits are easy to change. Well, if you have new habits, yeah. But if they are old, then no, I guess. But yeah. The thing is that, for the most part, I was basically completely oblivious to the Touhou community. I still am. So I'm not, like, the community itself is not something that that attracts me a lot, but you know, I definitely play the games. So the thing is, this is the 4th 1 coin clear. Well, I will say the 3rd because Aya really shouldn't count. Aya shouldn't count at all. That Aya 1 coin clear is, yeah. So last time I played this game was a year and a half ago, in November of 2020, but that was a hard no bomb. The one that was a Lunatic 1 coin clear was the one in March of 2020, which was with Cerno. So the last Lunatic 1 coin clear that I had with this game was exactly 2 years ago. So, you know, this one. This one is... Oh, wait. It's this one. Wait. No? Wait, never mind. It's even older. It's almost 3 years ago. Damn. Well. 3 years ago that I got a Lunatic 1 coin clear. That's crazy. Okay. I mean, I'll take it. But that's something. So yeah, as I was saying before, you can tell that Touhou's romanization here is actually properly done. As you can see, it says Tei. And the rest are actually properly done too, surprisingly. Well, except for this one. So I guess in this case it doesn't really make that much of a difference. It's supposed to be Shamei Maru, and here it says Siamei Maru. Both romanizations are correct. Well, same with Shikieki, it says Sikieki. But yeah, that's because there are different types of romanizations. Yeah, exactly, Eiki too. But yeah, that's basically standard. As I was mentioning before, something like Fujiwara that is romanized as Fujiwara, it's correct. It's just that it's not something that for foreigners it's easy to understand. It's not even space. Yeah, but that's always been the case. I mean, you can see that even in the name is not space. Like if you look at the kanjis on the left, it says Shikieki all together. Like it's not even space there. So the romanization is correct in that regard. But anyways. So which character should I go for next? So I got Yuka. Who else? Mistia. The problem with Mistia is that her charge fucking sucks. It's very slow. Raisin. I think the problem with Raisin is that her scope is trash. And the problem with Marisa is that her charge is slow. Okay, I'm gonna go with Raisin, and then I'm gonna go with Marisa and see how it goes. Oh wait, no, Raisin scope, I mean it's bad, but it's not the one I thought it was. No, the one I thought about was Mistia. Mistia's scope is terrible. Oh, Shift C is for skin changes. Oh, I gotcha. Thanks. Not gonna do it now because that's something that I like doing with Reimu, just because the blue Reimu costume looks beautiful. But thanks. I appreciate it. Iki and Eiki are in space. Of course. I mean, originally that's how it is. And again, like a lot of that thing is about how you do it, how you decide to translate it. So in case of Shikieki, it's the same as saying Inaba Raisin. Well, no, I think that Raisin is a special case. It's like saying Hakure Reimu, right? It's correct. In terms of the order. Player 2 Yuka is Sanae from Touhou 15. Nice. I just wish you could use the other Prince River sisters in the story mode, but you can only use them in versus. Like if they were only a palette swap, I probably wouldn't care that much. But the problem is that they are not a palette swap. They are a full different character. And the fact that they are locked to versus is kinda lame. Especially since you actually need to unlock them, you know? Like you need to beat the extra with Shikieki. So it's not like they come from by default, so the fact that you really cannot use them in story mode sucks, but it's okay. Raisin, Udonge, and Inaba is 3 names in succession. Well, Inaba is supposed to be the last name. If I'm not mistaken, Raisin is her Lunarian name, and Udongen is the pet name that Kaguya gave to her, I think. That's the reason why all of them call her Udongen, right? Usually. Udongen is given by Eirin. Oh, it wasn't Kaguya? Interesting. Inaba is given by Kaguya for all pets. Oh, that's an interesting piece of trivia that I didn't know. So Eirin is the one that gave her Udongen, and Kaguya the one that gave her Inaba. Interesting. which is dumb since who will call their fates by the same name? No, but it's not like that. It's a last name after all. I mean, as far as I know, Kaguya never calls Raisin Inaba. It's just a way that... It's a way to identify all the pets that belong to the same family. I mean, it's kinda like if I had a pet and I gave them my last name. I mean, I just give them my last name, but I know that they have a first name. It's the same here. It's like all these bunnies are part of the same family. Of the Inaba family. Which makes me wonder how many people thought that Raisin and Tewi were sisters, considering they share the same last name. Doesn't she call all of them Inaba? I don't know. I didn't read the comedy manga that I forgot the name of. I think it was called Inaba of the Earth and Inaba of the Moon, right? I didn't read that. I read Silent Scenery in Blue, and I don't remember what she did there. All I remember is the other rabbit that they just call Raisin too. Her omake. I don't know because I also don't read the omake. Because, you know, it's too much work. But yeah, that's the thing. I should give Silent Scenery in Blue a reread, I guess. It's a pretty cool manga. Oh, I don't know how I dodged that, but I'll take it. Using Shiki and Eiki together is still pretty dumb. Why put no space between the last name and first name? Japanese people usually don't do that in general. As far as I know. There are a lot of Japanese... Well, you can see right there, for example. You can see that it says Isayoi Sakuya. It's all together. Spaces by themselves don't really exist in Japanese. Some people use them sometimes, but that's usually when it's either marketed towards outside of Japan or in a very specific place that is either intended for kids or whatever. But they don't use the spaces. That's because when it comes to the actual spelling, like the actual sentences, there are particles and obviously the kanjis that usually always tell you where the end of a word is and where the start of the other word is. And as for names, well, I don't know about names because honestly I'm pretty sure that's not obvious, considering that names in Japanese are so irregular. Because most of them don't even have a standard pronunciation. Most of them use a unique pronunciation for whatever kanji they use. A lot of them do follow some standard, but yeah. Though I guess that's because for the most part, most of the surnames are recognized. Yeah, you will be correct about that last thing you said, but as I said, all habits die hard, and I don't care enough to say Eiki. I prefer saying Shiki Eiki because that's been the case for almost 10 years, so yeah, I'm gonna keep saying it. But you know, not that big of a deal, though. I mean, after all, most people that got into Touhou at the same time I did, or even before that, to us, the people that don't know Japanese, her name has always been Shikieki, because that's what the translation gave us at the time. So I don't think anyone will wonder who you're talking about when you say Shikieki, you know. I mean, when we point out translation inconsistencies, you can start from Touhou 6. Yeah, I know, I also seen people call her Eiki, I just don't care, I'm not gonna call her Eiki because I don't want to. But you know, if you want to point out inconsistencies, you can start by Touhou 6. Like how Flandre is supposed to be probably Frandol. You know, how Rumia is supposed to be Lumia most likely. You know. When it comes to translation inconsistencies, we have many of them. And that's because back then it was only a couple of dudes that were die-hard fans. They knew Japanese, but they never really intended the translation to be something that would dictate thousands of works. Some of them that are very big, like the gacha, even though I don't want to admit it. The gacha is a very big game, as much as I hate it. And the reason why in that game Flandre is called that way is because of those couple of dudes that translated the way they could. So yeah, there are many inconsistencies in translation, but I think that ultimately doesn't matter. As long as we can understand each other, it should be fine. Yeah, Dayose is also, yeah, pretty much a non-character. But, you know, people wanted to make her a character. So, you know, guess she's a character. Same with Koakuma, that's not a character. You know, people wanted to make her a character, and that's what she became. In the fandom, at least. Beta Sanae. Honestly, I think that Mima is an even bigger Beta Sanae than Dayose, because Mima even has the same color scheme in Touhou 1, like the white, blue and green hair. And then on the other ones, even though she lost the white color a little bit, she's still very similar. Especially in one of the endings. In the ending in Touhou 5 of Mima, she looks so similar to Sanae. Like you almost think that someone patched Sanae into Touhou 5. Yeah, Mima has a name. Curiously, Mima's name is actually written in kanji. For a long time I thought that Mima was written in katakana or whatever. It's actually written in kanji. The Ma character being the same character that is in Maho, I'm pretty sure, which means magic. I think. The little devil, a better raisin cause business suit. I don't think it's really supposed to look like a business suit. Fan art draws it a lot like a business suit. But Koakuma is just supposed to use a button shirt and a skirt. Which, yeah, you could be like, that's usually what office ladies wear, but... yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's not that far-fetched, honestly. It's after all what girls that work in an office usually wear. Button shirt with a skirt. It usually tends to be the case. Oh, come on. That hit me. Well, as you can see right there, there is absolutely no dead bomb in this game. Dead bomb is non-existent. You can forget about it. Because that one that I just did back then should have been a dead bomb. Though there's something that I'm noticing about this game, and I don't know if that's actually changed, or if I just don't remember correctly, but it kinda looks like every time that I get hit while I'm charging, instead of completely interrupting the cast, it actually allows me to keep the cast going. Even when I release after getting hit, I do get an attack. I don't remember if that was the case in the original, well, the originals, I mean the non-Steam version. Maybe I'm misremembering and it was always like that, but I will say that it wasn't. Hachi also tends to be more popular version of Kaguya, shooting Hime-cut girls. I mean, the problem with Kaguya is that she as a character officially, I mean, I guess she does have multiple appearances in the manga and shit, but yeah. I don't think it's a character that has too much, like, a character, I don't know how to say it honestly. I think that the interactions that Patchouli could have with other people are a lot more fleshed out because of the fighting game, since she talks with everyone, than Kaguya that only talks with the A&A stuff, and I guess Moko sometimes. But yeah, that's the main difference. Patchouli, we know her personality very well thanks to the fighting games, which is the reason why most of the characters that are from Scarlet Weather Rhapsody are so popular, because we know almost everything about their personalities. But Kaguya, well, as I say, you have a lot of manga, but she doesn't really interact with anyone outside the A&A, really. So, I don't know exactly how she will interact with others, I think. Oh, come on. Should probably reset by now, but I guess I still have a chance if I get to 50 million. Kaguya is overshadowed by Moko. Well, that's because Moko, well, also appears in a fighting game, in Urban Legend in Limbo. So she also has a lot more interaction. In fact, since that game is that we know that Moko is a completely suicidal maniac. Because I think that before that, the only thing we knew about Moko is that she was a relatively gentle girl that just happened to be immortal. But with Urban Legend in Limbo, it was pretty clear she's absolutely suicidal because she's immortal. So again, the characters being in the fighting games is super important, because it really allows for a lot more characterization and interactions that otherwise you wouldn't get. Why are extra boss characters creepy? Well, the extra in general in Japanese games are usually supposed to be this sort of thing that is so above everything else, right? That is supposed to be super hard and super secret and super ominous. So the extra characters are supposed to be that. I mean, first you have Flandre, that at least at the beginning she looked like an absolute psychopath, even though lately she became a little bit less of a psychopath. According to the Satori manga, she's still not that right in the head, but she's not really, you know, that crazy. And you have Yukari, that is an absolute asshole. And yeah, in general, you just have characters that are supposed to be unsettling, I guess. Are not supposed to be your normal characters. They are supposed to be something Saki and Momoyo. I wouldn't say that's... Well, yeah, they are pretty dumb. They are indeed pretty dumb. Yeah, there's also 17.5, but I never read the dialogue now that I think about it. Like, 17.5 is a game that I dislike so much that I think that I didn't even bother reading the dialogue. And if I read the dialogue, I probably didn't even pay attention to it. Because it's a game that to me sucks so much. Like, I just can't believe how there are people that don't say that the game is garbage. I understand that it's Touhou and, you know, people that like Touhou usually defend anything that is official. But man, that game fucking sucks. Like one of those games that, I mean, I don't want the game to suck, especially since it has the kind of characters it has. I mean, dude, has Minamitsu and Flandre playable. Like, that's crazy. It also has Sean and Shion. Like, it's absolutely beautiful, but man, the game itself just sucks. I mean, I really, really wish it didn't, but what can you do? The game sucks, the game sucks, it's okay. I mean, it's Tasofro after all, so it's not even that surprising. Yeah, it hurts regardless. Tina seems to be going all out. It seems like that's one of Soon's favorite characters lately, just like Aya was at its time. Alright, so I say that I will use Marisa. What is Marisa's alternate color, by the way? Oh, that's the PC98 purple. Damn, that looks super cool. Damn, I really like this. I didn't thought it was gonna be straight up the PC98 color. Good shit. Damn, it looks beautiful. The only problem with Marisa is that her charge is very slow. But the scope is very good. And her movement is also very, very fast. Well, the problem is that her focus is also fast, which might be hard for micro-dodging, but it's okay. Her broom color is weird. Yeah, it's a more saturated yellow. But you know, if I'm not mistaken, in PC98 the broom color was orange. I don't know why they didn't make it orange straight up, but you know, it's okay. It's more saturated to, like, as a nod to how saturated the colors were back then. Also, there is something that really upsets me here. Something that I've been noticing. Cerno, when she's a playable character, she has a blue ribbon. But in her portrait and in the boss sprite, she has a green ribbon. But then you go to Great Fairy Wars and her portrait has the ribbon being blue. So what color is it supposed to be? Is it blue or is it green? Different game graphics made the broom orange. Yeah, I remember it being orange, usually. But yeah, the Cerno ribbon situation is very weird because it seems to change depending on the game. Well, and in this case, in this game, it's one color when you play her and another color when you're in the receiving end. It's just weird. Or maybe she can change the color at will. I don't know. Same question can be said about Reimu's hair color and length. I think more than her hair, it will be the Gohei. Or Gohei, I don't know what the pitch accent is, but that little shit, like, in some games, it looks like a short stick. In other games, it looks like a long ass stick. And in reality, it's supposed to be something that you hold with one hand. It's super short in real life. I like an actual Gohei. You don't like short black hair? Same for short and wavy hair for Sanae. I don't know. I usually don't pay attention to that. Just that Cerno's ribbon was like the first time that I took that into account. I think it was in that Suwako fan game that I was like, wait a second, what is the ribbon green? And then I realized that it is actually green, but only sometimes. Other times it's blue. It's like, well, I understand that for the Japanese, blue and green are very similar colors. Like, according to Japan, blue and green are colors that are almost the same. But yeah. In fact, I think that the word Midori, which means green, can also mean blue. I think it mostly means green, because it can also be used to refer to like a field with grass, right? I think. I'm not sure though. I gotta say that I completely fell in love with this color. With this Marisa color. I didn't know it was like this. Because I think that a lot of the other colors look very out of place, or are just colors that I don't like. But Marisa one looks so good. And again, that's because it's based on the PC98 colors. So it's so cool. Say that Marisa's charge is not that bad. Like, unless your charge value is 1 or 0.5, it's not that bad. It's obviously slower than having 5 stars, but it could be worse. I've always been caring about the hairstyle. To think Aya Asuma's way of drawing Sanae will show that character like she will be in her 20s. I mean, the character's age has always been very, you know, weird. Because Touhou is the kind of franchise where the characters never age. You know, it's kinda like cartoons like The Fairy Odd Parents. You know, the protagonist team is supposed to be 10 years old. But in the show there were multiple episodes where they clearly show festivities that happen at the end of the year, or like something that definitely meant that a year has passed at least. But regardless, Timmy has always been 10 years old. And the same applies with Touhou characters. Canonically, multiple years happen throughout the whole Touhou history, right? But the characters never age, because they are not supposed to. Raymond not dead yet, dude. Oh, I can't believe that, dude. That has to be a reason. Dying on stage 5 is unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. God damn it. You're not a fan of this? I mean, it's the way it is. It's the same with Ash. Yeah, but I mean, when you have a long-running series, you don't really want to change your characters, because if you change your characters' age, you will have to probably change their personalities a little bit, or at least the way they talk and shit, so, you know. That's something that a lot of people don't like. But yeah, it's how it is. I mean, it would be nice to see the characters mature, but the thing about Touhou is that it's never a serious story. If the story at some point was supposed to be serious, maybe it will make sense, but just like with the Ash anime and just with Fairy Odd Parents and just with 1,000 other cartoons that have a non-growing character, they are not really supposed to be taken seriously. And Touhou is exactly like that. Well, serious background for characters, I mean there is serious backgrounds. Having serious backgrounds doesn't mean that they need to grow. I mean, we know the backgrounds of these characters. Some of them are relatively serious, but since the stories themselves are not serious, something like maturing doesn't sound like it's very appealing for a non-serious story. I mean, you can make it work, but it's something that will how do you pronounce this word? Well, it's something that will disgust some people. I mean, the Japanese usually are people that like the status quo, right? So, well, the primary example is also in Dragon Ball. Apparently, when Gohan, which is the son of the protagonist Goku, started getting some protagonism, the Japanese weren't very amused. They wanted Goku to keep being the protagonist. And so Gohan got turned into an eternal shover, unfortunately. But yeah, Japanese people usually like things to stay the way they are. And that is reflected a lot when you see that Reimu usually wins the popularity poll almost every year. This last year it was Yomu instead of Reimu, right? But almost every year it has been Reimu, and that's because the Japanese just like that. That's the opposite for Ash. There are people who want him to get replaced, right? But the difference here is that, well, yeah, it's the opposite in many ways. Because Ash has been losing almost in all his runs, only winning the league in Alola, which was quite a lot of generations in. Goku has been winning since the story started, basically. When he was a little kid, he was already dodging bullets, killing entire armies, you know. And yes, he died sometimes, but he always comes out on top eventually. And when he didn't come out on top, which is in the Cell Saga, that he gets defeated multiple times, people don't like that too much. Or at least, I mean, some people like the Cell Saga. I mean that some people, at least in Japan, weren't too amused at the fact that Gohan was gonna replace Goku. So for the Buu saga, instead of having Gohan being the one that defeated Majin Buu, they had Goku. And Gohan became an eternal shover ever since. Which is the reason why in Dragon Ball Super, which is the continuation to Dragon Ball Z, the only characters that matter are Goku and Vegeta. And the only reason why Vegeta matters is because they need to have like a friendly rival for the classic battle shonen formula to work. But if it wasn't for that, I could tell you that Goku will be the only relevant character. Kingdom Hearts? Yeah, I don't know much about Kingdom Hearts. But yeah, basically, you know, I think it usually applies to everything. Usually when I see a protagonist, unless I really dislike the protagonist, if the protagonist is likable, I don't want to see the protagonist replaced. Obviously, in Gohan's case, I mean, I guess it's different, mostly because Gohan by himself doesn't do a bad job, just that it's obviously not as charismatic as Goku, right? But I think that for the most part, I prefer the protagonist to stay the same. Again, if I like the protagonist, for example, I heavily dislike Reimu, so I wouldn't mind if Reimu disappeared and there was a whole new protagonist. But you know, for protagonists that I like, I rather have them until the end of the show / game / whatever I'm consuming, right? Which is why I don't like Nero in Devil May Cry. I mean, I like Nero as a character, I don't mind him, but for him to replace Dante is like, no, dude. You can't replace Dante. Dante is like, you know, the kind of character that it's not replaceable. But for some reason Capcom wants to push Nero as the new protagonist. And it's even more offensive, I feel, with how fucking ugly Nero is in Devil May Cry 5. Because at least in Devil May Cry 4, Nero, you know, he looked okay. Like, you know, it was easy in the eyes, right? But then you have Nero in Devil May Cry 5, he looks like such a moron. It's like they made him look like a moron on purpose. And I don't know why. I mean, it's not like Dante looks that much better in that game, but I mean, at least he doesn't look like a moron. Looks like an old fuck, yeah, but yeah, that's something. I think that's the perfect example. Devil May Cry. If you ask me, I wouldn't have aged Dante at all, even in Devil May Cry 4, because he aged from 3 to 4 as well. I wouldn't have aged him. I would have kept his Devil May Cry 1 version, because the 3 is supposed to be younger. But like, that's a perfect example. Like, that's an example of a saga where I rather have the characters to remain the same age than them growing. Especially because, dude, they are not even human, they are demons. Well, half demons, I guess, but... Will appreciate if Reimu wasn't a shithead. Yeah, I will appreciate that too, but that's the problem with Reimu. Reimu is a shithead. That's the exact issue. And you know, there is a difference between being a shithead like Reimu and being a cocky asshole like Dante, right? If they made Reimu a character like Dante, I wouldn't mind. In fact, Marisa more or less kinda has that role. Just that Marisa is not the protagonist and she also doesn't really taunt the enemies that much. But yeah, I don't know. Well, it doesn't help that Dante is my favorite protagonist in all of media. Really, you know. Just can't help it. I really like Dante. The character that... I think it's perfect. He's the perfect protagonist. I mean, some people call those kind of characters anti-heroes, but I don't think that's the case. They are just cocky. They are very proud of themselves. And they just, you know, don't mind, you know, bragging about how good / strong they are, you know. I like those kind of characters. As long as they have the strength to back it up. Because if they are gonna end up shoving at the end, like Vegeta for example. Vegeta is the perfect example. of a character that is super cocky but is the pinnacle of shovers. I don't think there's been a character that has been a shover so consistently like Vegeta in Dragon Ball. See, like, that's the opposite of what I want. I want a character that is cocky, but at the same time cool. Like, not annoying, because you can be cocky and your cockiness can become super annoying. But, you know, it's basically hard to write a character to be cool. It's not easy. This is the reason why I like Dante. Like a character that is cocky and cool at the same time instead of cocky and annoying. Because that's the other thing. If you make a character cocky and you also give him the strength to back it up, you're pretty much creating a Garry's too. Like a character that has no visible weaknesses. And those type of characters are usually very annoying. But yeah, I don't think that's the case with Dante. But I don't know. I also don't really read that many stories to compare with other things, so... I mean, stories are not really the thing that I care the most in video games, so... Oh, I almost got killed there. The iframe saved me. If it wasn't for those iframes, I would be absolutely dead. Oh, come on, dude. I bomb. I swear I bomb. I swear I bomb. God damn it. Because, I mean, it would have worked if death bombs were a thing in this game, but they aren't. Character that has no weaknesses, no human flaws are shallow. Yeah, that's the point. I mean, if a character has no weaknesses, you even ask yourself what's the point of the story in the first place, right? Well, unless it's a comedy, obviously. If we're talking about a comedy, anything goes, obviously. But, you know, if we're talking about a story that is supposed to be taken half seriously, then that sort of stuff is just... It doesn't have any place being there. That's why I don't like Yukari. I don't think Yukari is really supposed to be a Mary Sue. It is true that it's not easy to find weaknesses on her character, but then you remember that she got defeated by Reimu twice. So I wouldn't say that she's particularly flawless, you know? Especially because she's an absolute bitch. Like, even forgetting about the strength factor, Yukari is supposed to be an absolute bitch. Similar to Reimu, actually. Just that Reimu is more grumpy, Yukari is more I don't give a shit about anyone. I wouldn't say that that's no weakness. Being unlikable, as in, you know, not being friendly towards other characters and nobody liking you, I wouldn't say that that's no weakness. So, you know, you just abided by the rules. Yeah, but that's the thing. That's by definition, doesn't even right her wrongs after getting defeated. Yeah, that's true. But Yukari is not the definition of a Mary Sue. Because for her to be a Mary Sue, again, the fact that nobody in canon likes her is a big weakness, you know? The fact that everyone in canon despises her is quite a weakness, you know? So I wouldn't say that she's a Mary Sue. In fact, I will say that no character in Touhou is a Merisu. Because Reimu, for example, is almost invincible, but she's an absolute bitch. So, you know, the weakness is her being lazy, grumpy, throwing tantrums for no reason. Those are weaknesses to her character. A Merisu is a character that is all-powerful, cannot be defeated, and everyone likes. There are not many characters like that in fiction, really. Like, usually, I will say that that sort of stuff was probably pretty popular, like in the 20th century, especially towards the middle when things like comics were still very new. But nowadays, I don't think that's the case anymore. You can always point to a flaw. You can always point to a specific flaw that already doesn't make them a Merisu by definition. Obviously, the fact that they are not a Merisu doesn't necessarily mean that they are not annoying as shit, right? Like, to me, Yukari is also an annoying character. But yeah, that doesn't mean she's a Merisu. It just means that she's an annoying bitch. That's it. Damn it. I had so much meter. What a waste. What an absolute waste. I don't know if I would have won there anyways, but probably not, because that was the first attempt. I really hope I get enough points by the end of this fight to get another extend. And if I do, that will be good. That was a waste of meter. Just that I couldn't charge in time, I think. I don't think I will have made it in time at least. I don't know, dude. I don't know about Kingdom Hearts. I never played it. The character doesn't have to be dislikable by characters to not be a Merisu. The character doesn't, and that's a lot of negatives, doesn't have to be dislikable by characters to not be... Can you rephrase that but with less negatives? Because 3 negatives in a row is a little bit hard for me to decipher. You know? It's a little bit hard when there are so many negatives all together. If the character is likable, then that makes them a Garys too. only if he has no other weaknesses. Basically, I mean, Agaris 2 or Mary Sue, whatever, it's basically a character that has no weaknesses in terms of, like, he has the perfect personality that everyone in universe likes. He is never defeated by anyone. He always saves the day. He is basically the embodiment of perfection in multiple fields, not just strength. That's basically what a Mary Sue / Gary's 2 is. Like the typical super smart, super social, super strong character. Superman is basically, at least at the beginning, I'm assuming, well, he had a kryptonite, but honestly, kryptonite, I guess it's an excuse to have a plot. But I will say that Superman is kind of the example. Like, everyone loves Superman, he's absolutely almost omnipotent. And the kryptonite shit is honestly something that, again, the only reason why that's there is so there can be a plot. So I think that the most known character that could be considered a Gary's 2 is Superman, basically. But I guess that also depends on who writes it. See, you gotta understand, the comic industry is like the same franchise is oftentimes written by different authors. That also includes Superman. In fact, funnily enough, I think that one of the last comics basically depicts Superman as being an absolute cock. Literally, like his supposed wife sleeps with other men and he is sad about it and doesn't do anything. So yeah, depending on the author, he's a Gary's 2. Because that depiction of Superman that I just mentioned, yeah, I wouldn't call that a Gary's 2, you know. I definitely wouldn't call that a Gary's 2 or anything similar to that. But you know, even being cocky but still likable by people is a weakness. I wouldn't say that being cocky is a weakness. It will only be a weakness if being cocky leads you to getting defeated. But being cocky by itself is more of a trait rather than a weakness. You know, whatever. The point is that, yeah, they are not very common characters, usually. Because for the most part, they always have a weakness that is not minor at all. Most of the time. But I guess it really depends. I don't think this is gonna end in a victory, is it? It doesn't seem like it's gonna end in a victory. Yeah, I heard that sound, but I don't know. You also heard that sound. Here comes Lily White. Oh, I thought I won. I didn't see myself getting hit there. Like, I thought, damn, I won, I can't believe I actually got hit and I don't even know what hit me there. Like, I think I got hit by the side, like from the left, but I didn't even see the bullet that killed me. Alright, I don't mind though. It was kind of understood that I wasn't gonna survive. The anime where the protag is very strong, so strong he wants an adversary to his level, is also very smart and intellectual, knows about story and shit. No, history and shit. Seems to be somewhat of a shirk or a perv at times, but people around him still respects him. Well, I don't know. Saitama is dumb. Well, Saitama, see, that's the thing. Saitama is a... I mean, One Punch Man is a comedy. So anything that happens there is not really something that really reflects the, you know, that really reflects this kind of concepts. Because as I say, I think the fact that being a Garry's 2 and a Mary's 2, I think applies if you are not talking about a comedy. If you apply to a serious, or at least a story that wants to be serious, a comedy, basically anything goes, you know, it's just a comedy. One Punch Man have serious moments, yeah, that's true, but I mean, the serious moments are there more as a contrast, which sometimes can make it even more funny, because you're like surrounded by all this ridiculous shit and all of a sudden it gets all serious. I think it's part of the point, you know. That's the whole point of One Punch Man. But, you know, for the most part, most characters, because, you know, Goku, for example, the protagonist of Dragon Ball, it's supposed to be super strong. But he is definitely not perfect, well, especially his depiction in Super. He's an absolute moron. Differently from Sid, that he was only half a moron. Here he is a full moron in Super. Well, that, and that he also doesn't win every battle. And just like Goku, there are a lot of anime protagonists like that. Protagonists that you might think that they are Garry's 2s because they are super strong and they end up winning in the end. But that's not the case. They have a lot of weaknesses that you can point out, either in the personality or, you know, outside of it. That's the thing. They are not very common characters anymore, I will say. Also, I say that I wanted to play medicine and get the free 1 coin clear, but honestly, considering that I did get a 1 coin clear today, I don't think I want to get a free 1. Like, I think I'd rather save that free 1 for a day where I play this game and I don't get, like, you know, where I play this game and I don't get a single 1 coin clear, as a way to cheer me up, right? But considering that here I already got a 1 coin clear, I don't think it's necessary any longer. Besides, if I get a 1 coin clear with Rainbow, that would be pretty cool. For some reason I never got a Lunatic 1 coin clear with Reimu. What I don't like about Reimu is that her scope is too big. Look at the diameter of that thing. Hey, look at this shit. Almost occupies the whole screen. Not to mention that the scope growth is also tremendously fast. So it's very easy to basically trigger spirits that are very far from you. Yeah, I don't like her. And the funny thing is that Yuka has a similar shape, but those rotating circles that she has at the edge of the main circle, their hitbox is not very big. So a lot of times there is a spirit that kinda goes through the sprite of that scope but doesn't get triggered. So I think that all in all, you know, basically it's just a matter of that. Basically a matter of picking characters that have scopes that are not that big. I think Touhou's case is the worst one, because her scope is not only big but it's also horizontal, which basically makes it impossible to shoot down most of the spirits that get triggered, unless you literally trigger them right in front of you. But if they get taken by the edges, you either have to move aside at the right time, or you just have to be very fast to shoot them down. Well, that or also wasting meter. It's usually not a good idea. Got him. This is the first stage that we might probably die in. Oh, also, I'm surprised in the character card, the presentation, it says Sakuya Isayoi. Well, Sakuya Isayoi. That's the Western order of the, you know, name first and last name last. I'm surprised by that. Surprised by that because in the character selection screen they have the Oriental order. That's weird. Sakuya doesn't even have her long sleeves on the sprite. That is true. She's using short sleeves, but on the portrait seems to have long ones, right? It happens. Oh. Nice knives there. Very, very cool knives. Ooh. Okay. It's very hard to defeat the stage 6 boss on the first try. Yeah, he did some sort of edit on Raisin's boss sprite. It's being soon. Yeah, it's the what it is. I mean, after all, as I said in the beginning of the stream, the fact that the real, like the actual version, the actual latest version of this game is pretty much tied to a beta version that you need to specifically tick on Steam, that alone already it's basically soon being soon. That's okay. At least, well, I think that the easiest combination of stage 7 and stage 8 bosses are Aya and Yuka. Here in this one you get Aya and Komachi. Oh, look at that! Aya actually has a space between Shameimaru and Aya for some reason. So I guess it's not something completely regular. Some of them have a space, some of them don't. Maybe that's because Isayoi is a relatively common last name. I think. While Shameimaru is probably not. I don't know. I don't expect to win this one, but I need to... Come on, what the fuck was that? Fucking fairies. I wanted to say that I want to survive as much as I can to get more points, but I guess I won't. Apparently. You're taking a long time to go down. Why are you taking so long? Shouldn't be taking that long. There you go. In the 2-minute mark. Just like that. 2 minutes, no more, no less. So the problem here is that with my score, unless I somehow get a shit ton of points from fighting Komachi, which I doubt, this is gonna be very hard to reach 50 million. I might not be able to do it, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to survive as much as I can on the first attempt, and then we'll see about the rest. Yeah, that's not good. Jesus Christ, we had to use 3 charges in a row. And it still wasn't enough for the amount of bullshit. And look at this shit. Like, chill. Damn, she doesn't chill. Look at this. She refuses to chill. Come on. You're supposed to be Komachi, you're supposed to be a lazy little shit. Didn't seem too lazy there. Yeah, I think that at this rate I'm not gonna get another extra life, but that's okay. I mean, it's not, but I'm not sure if there really is a difference between dying once to Shikieki or dying twice. Like, that's something that I was never sure of. Well, in fact, at the beginning I was sure that dying once was different than dying twice, but now I'm not so sure if there is any difference in terms of if she dies before or not. I'm actually not sure anymore. That's bad. Trying to resist the most I can, but I don't think I can. Oh damn, that was super close. I almost died. Almost. Oh, I got a lot of points. They might be enough, but I'm not sure. I have to survive quite a lot on both attempts if I want this to be enough. I mean, it's only 3 millions until 50 million, so it's possible, but it's gonna be hard. If it was 2 million, I will be a lot more confident, but 3 million, I'm not sure. I mean, if I can particularly do it. I know that it's more than possible to do it if you're actually good at scoring in this game. But I'm not, so, you know. the bomb there doesn't seem like a very smart choice. Oh, come on, I thought I still had iframes. Well, that's bad. I could have survived so much more, but it's okay. Too late for that. I don't think I can survive until 50 million. Well, I should worry about winning instead of getting the extend, I will say. I defeated the boss. Ah, Lily White, you're something else. Didn't even give me time to react. Yeah, this is definitely not gonna be enough. The only thing that will change the things is a miracle, but I don't think a miracle is gonna happen. I can't do. Oh, it almost happened. I couldn't survive more than that. That's my limit. I can't do much more than that. You didn't react to the traumatized Raymart I sent. I didn't see it. So how could I react to something I didn't see? Hey Yannick, how is it going? Yeah, the beta version, am I right? Yeah, I think I'm done for today though, because I could do another run, but I think it will be a little bit too late. I mean, I could do the medicine one, but I kinda wanna save this one for some time where, you know, you sent it a few weeks ago, I don't know. I guess I could still do the medicine one. I mean, it's... yeah, whatever, let me do the medicine one, it's whatever. I mean, this should be very fast. This is absolutely free. Medicine, just like Aya in this game, is absolutely broken against the CPU. But I never used her on Lunatic, so... you know. I could do it now. It's supposed to be Shiga broken. It also depends on if the characters fall into the poison cloud. If they don't fall into the poison cloud, it's no different than any other character. But if they do fall there, they are absolutely dead. So yeah. I just hope that this is fast, because today is Monday, I kinda wanna go to sleep early, you know. Also, I just remember that I think a very big portion of this story mode takes place on the poison fields here, I'm pretty sure. And Lyric actually lasted a long time considering that it's a stage 1 boss. Weird. Junko is unlikable? Of course he's unlikable. Wait, wouldn't. Medicine just killing everyone. Yeah, that's pretty much the story. Everyone that is unlucky enough to fall there, of course, will get poisoned to death. It's like tower defense. Tower defense? We'll call it like that. Well, at least the good news is that with this character, it will be 5 characters in total that I have the one... Wait. Yeah, well, if we count Aya, obviously. Well, if we count this one, we obviously will count Aya. But yeah, the thing is that... 5 characters, how many are there in total? I think they are 11 or 12, right? In total. At least the ones that are playable in story mode. I gotta say that the characters are taking a lot longer to die than I anticipated. I know that it's just a matter of time, but... she's not as broken as Aya then. Like, Aya is a lot more broken. I remember with Aya, bosses died instantly. Like, they didn't last shit, but here, they're actually resisting quite a lot, you know? Damn. She's calling Susan then. There. I'm also getting a lot of points for whatever reason. Not sure why. Yeah. Susan. It's a shame that a character like Medicine doesn't appear almost anywhere else. Aside from this game. It's especially a very wasted potential when you consider that Alice is a doll maker. The fact that she never interacts with Alice. Marisa died pretty fast. I guess she got fucked by the poison quite a lot. Here comes Raisin. And everyone comes to die. Also, look at how fast she is. I mean, look at how I can move. And she moves quite a lot. And the focus is also quite fast. Well, I mean, she's a doll. Being a doll, I would assume that she's lighter than an actual living being. Probably. So it depends, because if it's a doll that is the size of a human, it depends on the material, but I don't think that's the case. I think she's supposed to be a doll the size of a doll, but I don't know. I don't know if that's the case or not. I mean, after all, she's supposed to be a doll that was abandoned. So who is gonna be the stage 6 boss? Man, fuck Sakuya. I hate having Sakuya as a stage sits both them, and I get hit by the fucking fairies at the very beginning. Well, it all depends on you, Medicine. You better start shooting poison and making this girl fall for it. Because if you're not doing that, we ain't gonna win. At least not on the first try. Yeah, that's what matters after all. The charge is also quite slow. The charge that Medicine has. I assumed that it was gonna be a lot more free with Medicine, but now I'm not so sure. Wow, that was bullshit. I know that the hitbox of those horizontal knives is bigger, but that was absolute fucking horseshit. Like, I wasn't even close to the knife. Well, knife hitboxes are garbage in general. I always hated knife hitboxes. They are so weird. Spicy air, yeah. Wow, come on, what do you want me to do there? Came from the right side and I was getting assault from the left side. What the fuck? Alright, at least we won this one fast. But I expected this to be a lot more free. Problem is that we need to win at least one of these without losing a life. Because we're not getting extra lives unless we murder Shikiegi on the first attempt, which is, well, first or second. Which is likely, but that's the thing. Differently from Aya, because Aya has aim shots, and those aim shots end up hitting the bosses whether they like it or not. But with Medicine, she only spawns poison at specific parts of the opponent's area. So if the opponent doesn't happen to be stepping on the poison, it's gonna be the same as any other character, basically. Like, it's not really gonna make that big of a difference. That's the thing. And I'm getting shot by so much horseshit. Like, goddamn. The amount of horseshit is tremendous. So, would you like step in poison? It wouldn't be so much to ask, and die at the same time, you know. Damn, there was so much poison that I feel that if I survived 2 or 3 more seconds, she would be dead. Yuka Big Flower. Yep. It is the case. But goddamn. Even in the poison. So I didn't know this. As I say before, I thought that Aya and Medicine were almost in the same level as Brokenness. But Aya is way more broken than Medicine against the CPU. Like, Aya is almost like an instant win. Medicine, you need to get lucky. Well, you need to get lucky regardless in this game. But with Aya, I don't think you even need to get lucky. So the next opponent is either Komachi or... No, it's probably Komachi. I mean, it's either Komachi or Aya. I'm assuming it's gonna be Komachi. Let's see. It is Komachi. Alright. So let's see what you do, Komachi. Something that Komachi has is that her scope is basically occupies the whole screen, so she turns every spirit into into a spirit that shoots shit. So if she were to use the scope and she gets caught in the poison, she might die. But I'm not sure if that will be the case. Well, in fact, there is a guy on Twitch that is running CPU versus CPU battles in this game that are random. And according to the statistics, the CPU that loses the most is Komachi, and that's most likely because of that. That gigantic scope she has basically creates bullets that would otherwise not exist. We will see how easily we can win here. So far, not that easily, but we're still there. Hey, Lily, I don't appreciate your presence. I want you to know that. I also don't appreciate all those bullets, but you know. Don't think you care about that, do you? Oh, we actually won. Oh yeah. Komachi got murdered. I mean, again, this is supposed to be free. It's just that I got surprised because I thought it was supposed to be way more free than this. They actually need to survive a little bit. So now we have 2 lives against Shikieki. So on top of having what's usually standard to fight against this final boss, we also have medicine that is absolutely broken, so she'll be able to win this very easily. I'm obviously not even gonna highlight this run, because I mean, it's not a run that is very hard to get. Obviously I'm gonna highlight the Yuka one, needless to say, but yeah, this one, well, would be pretty funny if I died. When I say I die, I mean if I lost. That would be very fucked up. I would have gotten cocky for no reason. Can you imagine that? Yeah. Like, this run is so free that it's not even worth highlighting. And then I end up losing all my lives. I will say that that will be pretty funny. That will be pretty karmic as well, I will say. But it's okay, we have this try and another try. We can still have a little bit of a margin for error. But we shouldn't worry too much about it. No, we should start worrying, you know, because especially if I get hit by bullets like that. Like, come on, dude, how the fuck do you get hit by that? And here comes the counter of counters. That bullet. Damn, dude, I might actually lose this. That is gonna be very sad. That I actually lose with medicine. That will be very humiliating. I mean, she didn't even get hit once. Wow, and she opens up with that. Well, fuck you, I can open up with that too, bitch. That was probably a bad idea, considering that there were no further bullets on the screen. We could have honestly just killed the boss. Whatever. Too late to regret it now. But yeah, that was indeed a waste of meter. Might be able to recover it, but I highly doubt. So I will need to use it now. come on. Well, that's bad. I can't believe that. So this is actually not free apparently. Or not as free as I thought. Damn. It would have been better for me if I haven't even played with medicine. At least I wouldn't feel bad about losing. What the hell? Dude, she just wasn't getting hit. Like, it wasn't even like that with the other characters. The other characters even hit her before the 1 minute mark. But, well, I mean, she got hit on the last attempt, but she got hit only once. Whatever, fuck this shit. At least we got a 1 coin clear and one with a character that is not super busted. So I will say that, you know, at least there is that. But yeah, that was a very disappointing last run. Regardless, that's gonna be it for me for the day. So thanks everyone a lot for watching. I'll be seeing you on the next stream with something else. So have a good one everyone and take care.